Hi, everybody. We're back, and we're about to start our third and final adventure of the evening, which I have called very simply the box. But before we get into it, as always, let's just hear a few words from our heroes. You know them, you love them. This one might be a little long to fit in. So let's go. Euchaunkas Ouwoupli, the High Priest and bringer of Bill.
Yes.
How are you?
Hello. I'm good. I'm well. How are you?
Good save on that, Grandma. That's good. I'm doing well as well, Euchaunkas.
Which one are you again? Are you the Pete one or the?
I'm the
other
bald one with the bow tie. That's Pete.
Okay.
That's how you tell us apart. Although I guess you can't really tell us apart by disembodied voices, unless you have a good ear for voices.
I don't. You all sound the same to me.
Does the cloud speak
Yes.
in the same way that we do?
No.
Okay.
Do you want it to?
That would be terrifying.
Wait, Euchaunkas, do you fear your own god?
Why? Yes. Have I not made this clear?
I don't know if you've made it clear yet.
What? Like, it's literally shoots lightning, just constantly, thunder and lightning.
I mean, I guess it's pretty scary when you look at it that way. Although I've never really thought of
its immensity. It is unfathomable.
You've given me some food for thought here, Euchaunkas, which I will consider very much in the ways that I analyze the cloud from this point forward. But Euchaunkas, welcome back.
Thanks.
Next up, we have Ideal, the Sharp Tongue and Lord of the Gilded Rose. Ideal, how has your new life in Myth Tier been treating you?
Not too difficult.
Not too difficult. Not too much trouble with the added fame, being recognized in the streets and all that.
Well, it has its positives and its negatives. I mean,
yes, of course the adoring fans are sometimes a little bit much, I'd imagine. But what have you been up to in the land of DnDTime since then? Anything new? I know there's a lot of kind of new business that's been propping up around the Crimson Coast as a result of some of the things that happened around there. But what's Ideal been doing?
well, I've been doing some favors for my patron as of late.
Indeed. And could you remind us once more who your patron is?
I don't believe I've mentioned it before, but
I was actually very. When I was thinking about it, I realized as I was saying that I didn't know who your patron was.
they go by the name the Radio Demon.
The Radio Demon. Did I say that correctly?
Correct. Yes.
Anything you care to share about the Radio Demon, or do you keep these things locked close?
I don't know much about them. When they contact me, it's with a voice, much like you would hear over a radio.
And they have expectations of you. It seems like up until now, for the most part, they've been giving you power without necessarily a lot back. But it seems, is it fair to say that now that you have ascended to the power that you have, they're starting to make some more use of you?
That is correct.
Well,
Just like when you win the lottery.
I look forward to learning a little bit more about this Radio Demon as well. All of these lore points that I'm finding out about. First, the fear that Euchaunkas has in the cloud, and now this demon. Well, Ideal, welcome back. Next up, we have Fluffy, the Master of None. Fluffy, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Pete.
Um,
I've talked with Whoosh. He loves your bow tie.
Oh, that's very sweet. It's very sweet of him to say.
He wears it in all his performances. It's quite lovely.
I mean, of course, it's not my. Well, let's not bandy around the bush. I mean, that was one of mine. That one kind of slipped, so it's a bit unfortunate. But Fluffy, about you, how has your life been? Guarding over the forests that you now control, and
Relatively peaceful with the new month arriving. everyone's been ready for their winter, and a lot of the animals have gone to sleep. So it's
Yes,
been
everyone's
very peaceful.
hibernating, birds flying south, I imagine. Or has the birds taken off yet?
Yes, it's very quiet. They've taken off. It's almost lonely a little bit.
I was going to ask, do you have any kind of close friends that you miss that are flying away in these animals? Or I guess you probably consider most of them your friends, but anyone in
I still
particular?
talk to the trees.
Hmm.
They're still awake. Most of them. A few of them are winded down for the winters as well.
Well,
Most.
yeah. Well, I was going to say, I'm sorry that you have to kind of endure this quiet season, but
It's okay. I have Bartholomew for my other friends. It's fine.
very good. And I guess you're, that's just part of nature, and it's, if anything, it's
Yes.
just the natural cycle doing what it is meant to do, which is a
Cycle.
good sign.
Correct, Pete.
Welcome back, Fluffy.
Anytime.
And last, but of course not least, we have Lance Silverblood, the Silver Hierophant. Lance, how are you?
Well, I'm doing about as well as I can imagine, Pete. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you as well. Now, tell me, how has your how have you been finding your new blade?
It's quite impressive, I must say. I haven't had too many chances to wield it, barring the events of Welcome's taking, but it is quite the impressive work.
Still testing the limits, I see. Yes, but I'm glad you're finding it. I'm glad you're finding it to your liking. Have you? I'm curious. Has Alicia been eyeing it at all, knowing that odds are that someday that she will be the inheritor, or do you have something else in mind for it upon your?
I've actually been keeping that certain part of it a little under wraps. I hope, if it ever comes to passing it to her, to have it be a bit more of a surprise.
Oh well, I am. I'm hoping that she's not, watching at the moment, as I didn't mean to spoil the surprise for Alicia. I'd feel very bad if I ended up doing so. But um, you said you haven't quite gotten the chance to test all the outside limits of it. So hopefully today, or maybe hopefully not. Perhaps you would prefer not to be put in a situation where you have to find those limits. But that being said, I look forward to seeing what you do with it. Welcome back, Lance.
Thank you for having me, Pete.
And without further ado, we begin within Bartholomew's shop. And Bartholomew has called the four of you there for a kind of a special mission that he himself has provided today. There's a few kind of adventurers milling around as you walk in, and coincidentally, it seems like you all just walk in at exactly the same time, which works out very nicely. And Bartholomew looks over at the group of you. Ah, adventurers! Good to see you all here. Very punctual. Yes, I had a very, very important task for you today. If you could join me.
Of course.
Yeah, he moves over to the side of the shop where you see a door that has never been there before, and kind of, opens it up. And inside, there's just a new part of the shop that didn't exist. It definitely is, which has always been a little bit off on the inside of the shop. Sometimes if you really want to leave, you can open the door on the exit into Central City, even though the shop is just in the middle of a forest somewhere in the lands of DnDTime. And the inside of this place, as you're opening this room, is relatively large, and definitely larger than the shop appears from the outside. As you enter into the space, you can see all within it. There are a lot of just kind of loose magical detritus around the room. You see kind of like various magic items that are on the fritz. You can see a workbench where there's a lot of different kind of like projects that it seems Bartholomew is in the midst of. Some of them have like names from different adventurers on them, things that are still kind of works in progress that he hasn't had the chance to kind of pan out yet, and other kind of magical tools. And on the far side of the room, there's another door. As you're all entering in, Euchaunkas, if you could close that door behind you, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, okay.
So, I've called you all here for a personal reason. You see, there's been quite a few additional people joining our veteran troop. We've become rather large, as you no doubt know. The four of you have been with us for a very long time, and, well, frankly, you've all become incredibly powerful in the time that I've known you. But I will say that with our degree of fame that we've cultivated, largely through your hard work, some of the new recruits that we've been getting have not been adventuring material. There have been some failed adventures around the lands, and it's been frankly bad for our reputation. And of course, we can't have that. Can I get you anything to drink, anything to eat?
A glass of warm milk, if you would.
Oh yes, of course. Warm milk in a nice kind of chair appears behind you, and then a warm milk on a table in front.
Oh, don't trouble yourself, Bartholomew. I can make my own, as I will create food and create and destroy water for myself and some good berries.
Oh, wonderful.
How about a nice rosé wine?
A rosé, not a problem at all.
I'll take him. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead, Euchaunkas, and as he says as he's walking over to a wine cabinet. This one he doesn't conjure.
I'll take a meat slurry.
A meat slurry. Preference on type of flesh.
Surprise me.
Yes. Very good, very good. You see he goes into the cabinet, pulls you out a very beautiful, a very old-looking bottle of wine, and he places it down in front of you, pops the cork, and gives you a glass, just leaving you with a bottle of wine if you like. That is not conjured. That was actually crafted by the barrel braids of a dwarven kingdom that's very far off. It is one of the highest quality ales in the land of DnDTime. Or I'm sorry, not ales. I said ales out of habit, but I do mean to say wines. And it is a fine rosé that he has before you, and he provides for you, Euchaunkas. You see he kind of walks behind a curtain, and you hear a blender go for a while, and then he comes out with, he just took the blender off of the thing and puts in front of you a red and brown mixture.
I drink it.
It's chunky. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Oh, sure.
Can I get on that?
You're not drinking this thing, so if you want to try some of this meat slurry, you can.
No. I'm a vegetarian.
I suspected.
Ooh, I don't know what this is.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not tellable just by looking at it. But did you roll a thing?
Yep.
Oh, it didn't show up for me. Maybe I need to refresh my page. But what did you roll?
On his end.
I'm in the wrong lobby.
That would be the problem.
Da-da-da-da.
Am I in the right lobby? That's a good question for me to figure out. Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I saw your stuff before. So
Wait for it.
you can just.
I'll
just trust you. I'll just trust you on what you roll. Oh, you said
No,
you didn't, it was a bad roll.
let's do a different roll.
yeah, let's roll for real so that way people can see.
Fair enough. There's definitely a couple of elements that are in it that you don't recognize, but you know that there's ostrich in it. And you are also certain that there is some mind flayer in it, like a little bit.
Ooh, yeah, I haven't had that in a while.
Yes, it's a very exotic blend.
Perfect amount of chunks, Bartholomew. I do that doing like the hand sort of like, circle thing. Like, yeah, it's very good.
Yes, very good. That is, I know your tastes, Euchaunkas. He's conjured chair for all of you and sits down. So yes, we've had some failures on some early adventures, and I've created something of a testing simulation to test the abilities of new adventurers coming in to see if they are of an adequate ability to adventure here in the lands of DnDTime.
All right.
Roger went through it. He bested it. He told me that it was outrageous for any adventurer to have to do this, that is joining at a storied tier. And I said, well, I'll just run it through some tests. And so I thought you could go through it and then give it your approval when you're done. And then it will be 4 against 1. 5 against 1.
That certainly makes sense.
Yes. So I'll.
I do not agree to these terms. If I find it far too difficult for a story tier, I will let you know.
Okay. But you will, of course, also approve that my judgment is reasonable on it, yes?
That remains to be seen.
Very well, very well. We'll talk about it when we're done. Of course, your payment will be to some degree contingent on this test being successful in allowing it to go through. But again, we can discuss the terms once we get through it. Shall we?
Oh, of course, Bartholomew.
It's just through the door in there. I'm calling it, and I think it's very catchy. The box. Enter into the room, and the test will begin. Once the test, it'll take a bit of a moment for the test to begin. But once it has, the goal is to get back out of the room. Is that fair enough and easy to understand?
Yes, I do like the name. Very simple.
Sounds simple enough.
Wait, so the test is to go into the room and then leave the room?
Yes, but you have to begin the test once you're in the room. It will be clear how to do so.
Okay.
So we'll be locked in the room until we figure out how to get
Yes,
it.
sort of like an escape the room. Those are fun.
Yes.
But more physical challenges than mental ones.
All right.
I will leave you to it. And he gestures to the door behind him, which you may enter as you will. Who will approach first?
I'm happy to go first.
All right.
Lance will stand up and pound back the last of his milk, set it down, and follow Fluffy.
Ideal will finish his wine and follow the other two in.
You keep the bottle?
Yeah.
Or did you already go through the bottle?
No, he'll keep the bottle, but he sets down the glass.
Yes. Very good. Euchaunkas?
Yeah, I mean, mine's already gone, so I just get up and
I assume you just kind of poured it down your throat. And you proceed into the room. And as you enter into the room, it is fairly regular in shape, although there's a lot of bright colors in the space. Go ahead.
I close the door.
All right, you close the door behind you.
I immediately open it and walk out.
All right, Euchaunkas, you know that's not the thing. I told you, you'll know when the test is begun, and that's when you get out.
I just assumed closing the door was okay. All right, fair.
Closing the door wasn't the thing, but nice try, and that's it. It was a nice try. I appreciate the effort. I would expect nothing less.
I was gonna say this is too easy for a story.
I was also considering something along those lines, but we can't have any failed missions. That's been the reason for this. So really, that's kind of been the test thus far, is just if you can enter into the shop, you can be an adventurer. So we're going to have to up the stakes a bit, and I think I've done a splendid job of doing so. And he kind of like waves you back into the room.
Okay. I go in.
All right. The room that you're standing in, it is a fairly perfect cube, and the floor that you're walking on is a matte white, the ceiling a matte black, and then the four walls around you are red, yellow, green, and blue. And at the center of the room, there is a much smaller cube, maybe about a foot in 1 foot cube on each side, and it matches the colors of the room perfectly. And on the top of it, there is a button.
I think I know the test.
We were meant to wait for it to begin first.
We have
Perhaps.
to not press the button.
That does seem to be the most logical recourse. We wait out the button and the doors will open. That's how this works, isn't it?
Yep.
How long do you guys wait?
2 days.
All right, 2 days have passed. You're all becoming extremely hungry.
No,
I use create food and drink to keep everyone satisfied.
All right, you continue.
I did not wait that long.
All right, how long did Fluffy wait?
Fluffy will wait like about an hour and then start to question the rest of his party. I'm pretty sure we're meant to press the button.
Ideal's gonna wait like 5 minutes before pressing the button.
Okay.
Yeah.
You walk into the you walk over to the center of the room and press the button upon the cube. As you do so, the door behind you, you watch as the kind of frame around it seems to blend into the wall, and the room that you're in seems now perfectly sealed. Additionally, the button sinks into the top of the black cube, and you begin to hear some kind of vibrations coming from around you.
Well, we failed. The door's gone, so we can't leave.
The test has now officially begun.
Yeah, that's what Ideal was about to say. So.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I think we've officially started the test by pressing the button.
Lance will activate his sword to elongate it.
The sword kind of stretches outward. What do you all do? There's a box in the center of the room. It doesn't seem like nailed down to the ground or anything. You could pick it up. Other than that, the walls are just kind of flat around you.
I sit next to it.
Ideal pulls out his his packed weapon, the longsword, and pokes the box with it.
All right. You poke it. It slides along the ground a little bit, and moves as you poke it. That's it.
So it's not alive, at least.
No, it does not appear to be alive. Make a nature check. The box is 100% not alive.
Is it a box or a strange cube?
That's a good question. It's more of a strange cube.
Are we meant to get the button out of the box?
You do not know.
Ideal, you're one of those arcane casters. Can you identify this?
I can try.
All right. Are you gonna just stare at it for a while, or are you gonna pick it up, examine it a little bit?
Pick it up and examine it a little bit.
All right. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
May I help you with that, by chance?
I will guidance him for that.
I was gonna guidance him, but oh well.
Yeah. Roll an extra d4 on it for your guidance.
Oh, I thought you were helping, like the advantage kind of helping.
Yeah, I can roll advantage on it.
Sure. If you're doing the guidance, why not?
Yeah, good. So Fluffy, you're also there, kind of messing around and poking around with it as he's doing so.
Sure.
And then roll that d4 for me for the guidance.
Do you want me to do it?
Well, it should. I think it's Lance that does it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Ideal. Sorry about that.
I guess it could be done either way. 17. All right, yeah. So you're picking up the box. You lift it. You're kind of looking at the you're looking at the sides, and as you're kind of running your hands over them, some of the sides seem to have little points where your hands are rubbing over them that they seem to depress a little bit, or there seems like there's a little bit of an inconsistency in the pattern. And as you're kind of looking at it, you also, you go to kind of look at the bottom of the box, and the cube's kind of small. It's extremely light. As you flip it over to kind of look at the bottom of it, I would like you all to make me acrobatics checks.
All right.
I just remembered. I have advantage on Dex.
I'm assuming I don't have enough time to give off a little prayer.
No, this happens out of nowhere. And Euchaunkas and Fluffy, both of you are. Wait, did someone roll? Oh
No,
yeah,
I
just have advantage.
Yeah,
Nice.
I forgot I had I forgot I had advantage on Dex.
Unfortunately, 13 is still not quite enough. However, Euchaunkas and Fluffy, both of you, all of a sudden there's a weight shift, and you find that the gravity in the room that you're standing in, as the box was flipped upside down, is suddenly reversed, and you're all thrown the 10 feet upwards towards the ceiling. Euchaunkas and Fluffy both take no damage, and then Ideal and Lance, both of you take 1 damage as you're not expecting it, and you just kind of crash into the ceiling, and now the ceiling is the floor.
Is this box a perfect seal? Is it?
when you say a perfect seal, do you mean it's like completely flat on all sides?
Yeah, like no seams, like no way.
Like I was saying, as Ideal was kind of running over his hands, he was starting to find some things on it that seems like there was little seams on the colored sides.
That is perfect. Would you like me to look inside the box?
Wait, what if we can simply make a door in the box to make a door in the room?
How does one make a door in the box? What is this box made of?
The box, the material seems vague. It is just matte and light. You have no idea. It's probably... I'm sorry, not probably. It is definitely magically conjured.
Lance will take out a piece of chalk and go to the box and draw a door where he remembers the door being in the room as it would be on the box.
The side that you originally entered, the side that you entered the first time was the blue side of the room. So you go and kind of draw a door into the side of it. How are you going to do so? Are you going to kind of like pen one on with like ink, or are you just kind of like tracing your hand over it in that manner?
With a piece of chalk, just kind of trying to poorly sketch a door.
All right, you begin kind of sketching a door onto the side of it, and as you do so, the chalk kind of takes onto it. You don't see anything happening on the wall, but as you drag the chalk over it, you kind of apply pressure to a point on the box, and you see you hit something like a panel that seems to rotate horizontally on the side of the box, and you see that same kind of panel spin and rotate over on the wall, and it seems to kind of give access to a new kind of hallway over on the blue side of the box. Additionally, as that happens, it also rotates on the red side.
Oh my.
What are the colors of this room?
Red, blue, yellow, and green, and then the floor and ceiling are black and white. Currently, the floor is black because that's the way it is in the way that you're holding the box at the moment.
Where is this new hallway that's opened up? Is it on the ceiling or the floor? Correct.
It seems that it's in the kind of middle of the room, but you could easily kind of clamber up and into it from either kind of point on the floor. And these new kind of passages that appeared, now that the blue and red side have appeared, there's two kind of the classic logo for persons that have illuminated on both of those walls above the respective slots that have now opened.
And just to make this clear, there's a hallway on both the blue side and the red side, or just an opening on both sides?
There's a hallway on both the blue and red side.
Yeah, just wanted to back there.
Yeah, no,
I just gonna say, if somebody wants to check the blue side, I'll check the red side.
May I check inside the box by chance?
I mean, I don't mean go inside, just look into it.
Let's have Fluffy look at this box a bit more before we go running off into hallways that appear in this
I'm not saying we go in them, I'm just saying we look into them and see what's in them.
I look inside the box. Gaseous form.
Okay.
Idea will hold the box.
Alright, so you're going to try and zoop into the little opening that is now appear in the box as a gas. Alright, you begin to fill the inside as a gas, and as you move into it, you are just moving into what appears to be black void. As you kind of look back, just the small... do you go in the red or the blue panel?
On the black box?
The box is colored the same way the walls are.
Oh, yeah, I'll go on the red side, the blue side. That opened up.
So you go into the blue side, and you're moving through black void, and you can just see a small 1-foot square of bright blue floating in this void, with the panel that kind of still allowing view back into the space, and that panel is just kind of spinning around, but there appears to be nothing around you and nothing inside the box.
Yeah, interesting. I'll come back. This
is some very heavy magic that you are in the midst of at the moment. All right, you.
Fluffy will be concerned, and just gonna try a dispel magic on the black box.
It does not. It does not work. I will say that you ritual cast that, unless you don't want to take the.
You can't ritual cast the spell magic.
As a, yeah, you. Oh, dispel magic.
That's
I was thinking of
detect.
I was thinking of detect magic. I'm sorry. Roll me a. Actually, go ahead and roll me the check then.
All right.
I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I got confused there.
Nat 20.
Oh,
Ooh! All right. For a brief moment, as you kind of cast dispel magic on the box, you see it kind of shifts and shapes, and it becomes almost for a second like. The word that comes to your mind is fourth dimensional, as it kind of tries to like reconcile it in the midst of this detect magic. And kind of in that time, as it kind of inverts and collapses in on itself, you see kind of chunks on the yellow side. You see something that appears to be like a screw on the side of it that would be kind of part of the activation, it looks like, of this particular box. As well, on the green side, you see something that would look like a big square panel that could be pressed inwards. Additionally, the white side of the box has 3 kind of points of magic that are dormant within it that you also see for just a brief second in the moment this thing's, and then it reforms back into its kind of natural state.
All right. My fellow compatriots, I believe I have some information for us. I'm not quite sure what it means. But I saw the yellow side seem to have screws for some sort of activation. The green side seemed to have a big square panel that looks like it could be pressed, and the white side had 3 points of magic that seemed to be slumbering.
how many screws were there on the yellow side?
8.
Oh, just one
Just one. Just one.
in the kind of upper left-hand corner of it.
Well, if there's something with that green panel and 1 screw, I imagine we'll find something to either the red or blue. Perhaps activating those will make the dormant sides undormant.
Maybe. I mean, I'm a little stumped. This isn't my area. I'm not one.
Ideal
for-
presses the panel on the green
The
side.
green panel, you kind of push it in, and it seems to sink inwards into the box. And as you do so, you hear kind of a grating sound as the wall on the green side opens and presses in, also sort of revealing a hallway that kind of curves around to the right.
Okay, we've got 3 hallways. We don't know what the yellow side does.
Well,
May I unscrew the yellow side to see if that opens up the yellow way as well?
All right, yeah. You place your hands in the kind of part of the box where the yellow would have been, where you saw the screw, and it just seems to be an illusion there, and you feel like a little knob that you can twist and pull, and you kind of screw and unscrew it outwards. You see the yellow screw kind of clatter to the ground as a massive version of it does the same thing in the top left-hand corner of the yellow square up near the ceiling. You'd have to probably switch around the gravity again to get up into it, or climb or jump or something.
Everyone
but-
get ready.
But there's now a circular hole in the top corner leading to kind of like just a small circular tunnel.
Right. Does everyone ready themselves? I think we might have to turn the troupe upside down once again.
Sure, I'm ready.
Why
I
not?
ask myself as I get
Who
ready.
isn't very dexterous? I can give some guidance.
Oh, I'm not dexterous.
I'll
Well,
give you some
now that
guidance.
you're, I will say that now that you're prepared for it and you know that it's going to happen, you guys can kind of write yourself in situations where you're not necessarily doing handstands, but you're kind of crouched so your feet are ready and not just your head banging straight into the ground.
Yeah,
in
we're
this space, it's
turning it.
trivial.
Basically, we're turning it over slowly,
Um,
more or less.
Turn it slowly and run on the walls.
Alright.
It seems like it doesn't kind of turn naturally. It's once you go past halfway, it just shifts. It's instant.
Oh, okay.
But still, given the way that you're being cautious about it, you guys can just do it.
Alright.
You flip it around, so now the black is the ceiling again, and the white's the floor again.
Alright, let's peer through the hole that we've just created, shall we?
It's a long, narrow tunnel, and it seems to open up into a larger space, and then beyond that, an even larger space. You can also hear a whirring sound coming from down it.
Do we wish to... we have
Here's one thing
three
we haven't
hallways
asked
and a tunnel.
ourselves. There's one question we haven't asked ourselves. What does the white side do?
That does have 3 points of magic, and we do have 3 hallways in this tunnel. Maybe each one has a puzzle for us to figure out, like there was that strange being at Volcano had those shape puzzles.
Oh, I do remember
The
that.
laser sharks.
Yeah, these
Puzzles
are
like that, maybe.
Bartholomew's shape puzzles.
Well,
The sharks
which
are
tunnel do we go down first?
very-
Let's
I am
not go
very
down.
good. I could use my abilities to go down one. If something bad happens, I could retreat without too much issue.
You should
Sure.
As a ritual, I could summon a familiar and have it go down, and if it dies, well, we don't have to worry about one of us going down it.
That seems to be the easiest thing.
All right, you guys gonna do that?
Sure.
All right, ideal. You which tunnel are you gonna send your familiar down? What is your familiar also?
Familiar is a cat.
All right,
Fin cat.
awesome. Yeah, that feels so right. All right, you're and which one are you gonna go down?
Red tunnel
Right hole.
All right.
or hallway.
You kind of start moving down the red hallway. They kind of jump up into the kind of horizontal kind of slots that have appeared on the wall, and as they kind of climb upwards in, the horizontal spots kind of narrow down to a single tunnel, and you can see above the door, as they're kind of moving into a passage, you can see once again above it there are these two kind of basically icons of bodies, implying two should go down this way, and up ahead of you, they kind of walk into the space, and on the ceiling, you can see there's just jets of fire in the space, and then at the end of the hallway, there is a door, kind of built into the area. Additionally, to the right, there is a sort of a glass panel, and you can see through to a blue hallway that seems to run parallel to it.
Oh.
Hmm.
Does everyone get this, or need explaining? Two of us need to go down red. 2 of us need to go down blue.
Yes.
All right, you guys gonna go for it?
Yep.
No.
How you
Who
do-
wants
how
to
do you-
buddy up?
How do you buddy up?
Well,
I believe 2 of us are druids. Each person takes a druid.
Or you have
Yes.
clerics?
Well,
You have
two clerics.
Clerics.
yes, 2 clerics. Each of us takes a cleric.
Yeah, each of
I
us
was
is playing.
That one. Yeah,
So
I'm not
you-
too bothered.
All right, who wants what plans? What color do you want?
I would prefer to go blue, though it may make a bit more sense for me and Ideal to take.
Blue does fit my style more. I shall go stand on the blue side.
Sure, blue.
All right. So the two of you step forward into kind of the blue side, and so it's Ideal and Lance on red, and Fluffy and Euchaunkas on blue.
Yep.
All right. So
Yeah.
you step down into these 2 hallways, and on the as you both kind of enter into the space, the two the two kind of person icons light up, and the spaces behind you seal. And you're now in a hallway. There's glass to your left. You can kind of see each other and wave if you like. And then there's just a long hallway with a door on both sides at the end of it. And The hallway is about 10 feet wide each. Like I said, in the room that you're in, it's very warm. As you can see, the kind of flame jets on the top of the ceiling will shoot fire for a moment, and then kind of cool off. And then in the room that you're in, Fluffy and Euchaunkas, it's the entire ground is just water. There's no floor on the hallway. It's just a small kind of pool that extends the length of the hallway.
That's quite nice. I guess we start walking down.
So we have to swim across.
Oh, that's fine for Euchaunkas, I believe, right?
Yeah, I have a swim speed
Oh yeah, you guys actually divvied this up very perfectly.
and can breathe.
That's that familiar power. So you begin kind of moving onwards down the paths on both sides. Fluffy, are you going to swim as well, I presume?
I'm just trying to think what wild shape I have that has a swim speed. Does the whole thing look like water? I might become a shark.
Yeah, the whole thing is water.
I might become a hunter shark then, as I get into the water.
Alright, you fall down into and you watch as Fluffy's form kind of shifts into that of a shark, and you begin to move your way across on both sides. However, as you take a few steps and begin kind of your progress forward, from the ceiling on the left where you are, out of the flame jets, you watch as the fire burns in particularly bright and downward coalescing into the space. You see a being that seems to be made out of elemental fire appear.
Oh.
However, its body seems to be covered in fiery plate mail. The same thing on the watery side. From within the water, a creature of kind of water forms with icy plate mail on its body. I would like you guys to roll for initiative.
I use the shark decks, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
That is correct, sir. And these guys are also going to roll for initiative. Up, 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 up. And... But... Oh, I rolled them to GM like I always do, like a dummy. Whatever they got didn't count. All right. In that case, as these things coalesce, the first to act is actually the fire creature on your side, which falls down from the ceiling and kind of looks over to the two of you and begins kind of charging with what appears to be a scimitar made of elemental fire. With a scimitar of elemental fire in its grasp, and it's
missing one person in initiative, aren't we?
Are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing. No, we have Euchaunkas. We're missing Ideal. Ideal, you there? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Yes, still the fire elemental, who's going to run over and run down the hallway towards you, Lance. And Ideal. And as he does so, you watch as the scimitar flares up in flames as he's going to use his fiery strikes against you. Alright, he runs up to you, Lance, and he's going to make 3 attacks against you.
Oh boy.
24, 10, and 22.
One of those hit.
Alright, and also because this thing is flared, it's going to deal an extra 1d10, 2. You take 10 points of damage as the fiery scimitar cuts into you. And that's all for his turn, which is going to... for now, that's going to bring us to Ideal. What do you want to do, Ideal?
No, Fluffy.
Oh, Fluffy, I'm sorry.
We're 19.
Oh,
Mr. Far Shark.
yeah, the shark.
Swim up to it, ready action to bite when my ally quotation mark hurts it.
Alright. Go ahead, or you're just readying an action. Alright, in that case, you swim up next to the creature, and then it is going to be the... creature's turn. Oh no, you're right, it's Ideal. What do you want to do, Ideal?
I am going to summon my Thunderstep Elemental.
Oh god. Yep. The elemental conjures and appears in the space, crackling with elemental magic. You're gonna make a bonus action to. It's an action to summon it, right? And then it's a bonus action. You can do it on your first turn to control it.
Yeah.
All right. You going to use it?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make me the check to try and control this thing, which you succeed by a long shot. I don't actually. It's not a save. I don't believe it's a spellcasting check, so it should only add your charisma, not also the proficiency bonus. I think, unless I'm remembering it wrong. But for now, regardless, you save. So, what do you do with your Thunderstep elemental?
I am going to teleport behind the creature.
All right. Since you're right next to Lance, it's going to hit Lance and the creature. You're all kind of in a pile right now as you just kind of started walking down the hallway. So Lance, I need you to make me a whatever the save is, and the fire elemental as well. It's a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it definitely failed. Oh wait, no, it succeeds. Lance failed. I thought I was Lance. So it's going to take 9 points of lightning damage as the ground crackles as you disappear, and then from where you are, it takes 4 of those points of lightning damage. Lance, you take the full 9, and ideally you are now behind it. Do you want to be like right behind it, or a little bit of a distance?
Right behind it.
All right, you appear right behind it, and that's all for your turn, I presume.
Yep.
That is now going to bring us to the water elemental, which is going to make, since you're right up next to it, is going to make trident attacks against. Oh.
Lance.
Lance
16, you got a 16, and the water got a 16. Is it player or water?
Oh,
first?
you're right. Again, I'm. Oh man, a lot of 16s. Yeah, Lance, go ahead.
Yep, 3 of them.
Oh, dang. Lots of stuff. Ow.
Sorry.
To start this off, let's just, heal boy. I will, shoot. I had a plan, but so much damage can often interrupt plan. Let's start with a goodie. I will get some of that fire protection going because I had thought with jets, but now there's a fire boy, and am I able to use a bonus action to cast a bonus action spell?
No, you can only cast one spell in that regard per turn, only cantrips from this point.
Okay.
That's your actions.
In that case, that will be my turn.
Now it's water.
All right. You know what, actually, Lance, because Jeremy allows you to do that, I'm going to allow you to do that, but we have to make and I don't want you to feel cheated on this, but we need to come to a decision on how we're going to rule that for all the time, because we can't do it inconsistently. So go ahead and, yeah, go ahead and you can cast a healing word or something if you want to do that, or a spiritual weapon.
Fair enough. I will get a sanctuary up and going.
Sanctuary it is. You ward yourself against future attack. And is that all for your turn?
That will do it.
Alright, that's going to then bring us to Euchaunkas. What do you want to do, Euchaunkas?
Water.
Water. I'm gonna guiding bolt it.
Alright,
The water's turn. The water thing's
no,
turn.
Euchaunkas also had a 16.
But here's his. Oh, it plays first, that's right.
Yep. Go ahead and make the attack roll. 17. The guiding bolt streaks forward. Roll damage. Oh, wait, actually, that misses.
Shit.
Yeah, 17 misses. It's got plate armor on. And it streaks past. I'm just used to 17 hitting. It's one of the highest AC monsters we've ever had. And anything else on your turn?
Yep. Punchy cloud.
Alright, Punchy Cloud appears. And 21 will hit. Roll damage on that.
Oh,
10
right.
points of force damage. Nice.
My
The fist.
ready to action.
Yeah, absolutely. Make your attack roll as well.
With advantage. I didn't roll with advantage, but a 22.
That definitely hits for 15 points of piercing damage. Additionally, Euchaunkas, the Punchy
Is
Cloud.
It is magical if it matters.
Yes, and it does matter. You both bite down and punch with Cloud, respectively. The body of the thing kind of... you can just hear kind of the swirling of water within as it moves on to its turn. And Euchaunkas didn't move any closer, so it's just
Correct.
the shark that's up next to him. So he's going to make his attacks against you. And he's going to make 3
Fluffy.
trident attacks against you. Does a 10 hit?
A 10 does miss a shark.
16.
Will hit a shark.
And a 25 definitely hits the shark.
Alright, is he using one-handed or two-handed so I know which damage?
He's using two-handed, so that's
So 7, 7, 14.
14 points of damage. I need you to make me 2 Constitution saving throws.
17 and
All right,
5.
the first one succeeds. The second one, as he strikes into you, he hits you and you watch his trident that he's holding freeze and coat over with frost. Each of those attacks deal an additional, or between the 2 of them, 5 cold damage. And as it hits you on the second one, you find your body suddenly lock up and freeze as the surrounding water around you begins to lock you into place. You are now restrained. Actually, I'm sorry. No, this isn't a restraint. This is a paralyze effect. You are currently paralyzed while you are in this water because of the surrounding water. That is going to be all for his turn, and that's going to bring us next initiative to
Fire.
The top of the initiative. Yep, which is going to roll to recharge its fiery strikes. Which it does, and it's going to make. First, it's going to try and make a scimitar attack against you, Lance. Does it succeed on the Wisdom saving throw?
Let me double check. I don't think so. It does not.
All right, then it's going to whip around and swing those at ideal. It's an 11, a 26, and a 20.
Did Ideal get out of its range with his teleportation?
No, he specifically went right behind.
Yeah, I'm right
shit.
behind it. So,
Sorry.
yeah.
11 misses.
The 11 misses, the 26 and 20 hit.
All right. And then that's an 11 fire damage, which you half because you're resistant, down to a total of 5 fire damage. And then that's an additional 15 slashing damage. That's 20 damage total. And that's all for the fire. Mir Midden's turn. By the way, who has the box? I forgot to ask who is carrying the box, which is very important.
I think
Ideal
Ideal
had
had it last.
All right. Yeah, you guys can see the fight kind of raging on either side, and Fluffy looks like he's getting beat up pretty bad right now, as he's been paralyzed inside of this water. That's going to then bring us to, it would be you, Fluffy, correct?
I'm frozen, so I can't do
You're
anything.
paralyzed. At the end of your turn, you can make a strength saving throw to try and crack the ice around you and break out of it.
19.
Which you succeed. You whip your body around and shatter and break the ice. And you're once again able to move, but unfortunately that is your turn. As we move next to the 16... Oh, I'm sorry, it's Ideal next. Ideal, what do you want to do?
I'm going to attack you with my longsword.
Alright, go ahead and make
Before that, I'm going to place my Hexblade Curse on it. And then I'm going to attack it.
Hexblade Curse. Alright, you do so, and then go ahead and make your attack roll. Oh, nice! Go ahead and roll damage on that. Alright, that is going to hit for a massive amount of damage. 9 and then 12, grand total of 19 points of damage.
And thanks to Threshing Blade, I can attack twice.
Oh yeah, go ahead and make another attack roll. Um, 15 unfortunately misses.
I kind of realized that already.
Yeah. However, the 19 does 19 damage. What type of damage is that second type? Is that just more of the same? Is that just more slashing damage?
Yeah, it's just more slashing damage.
All right, yeah. You cut across and into the elemental. You watch as fire seems to leak from the wounds, almost as if blood. And is there anything else on your turn?
Oh, it's one-handed and two-handed, respectively.
Yeah, so it's just 9 damage.
Yeah, so it's just 9 damage.
Oh, okay, 9 damage. Don't you deal extra damage because of your Hexblade's Curse or something? Or is it
Yes,
already
I do.
accounted for?
It should be proficiency, right?
Yes, it's my
Okay, so
proficiency.
12 damage then.
Yeah.
Great. All right, 12 points of damage, and that's all for your turn. Or do you have a bonus action?
My bonus action
Excellent
was
clap.
the Hexblade's Curse.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. That's going to then bring us to Lance. What do you want to do, Lance?
How far away through the glass do the other two look?
Immediately adjacent. The hallways run perfectly parallel to each other, with the kind of glass to your right, in your case.
That is some top tier choice, as Lance will use his Channel Divinity. That is the wrong Channel Divinity I almost clicked on. As I will cast Bless at 2nd level on the party.
Oh my god! You call upon Saloon's Grace to lend a guiding hand. You now have 2 concentration spells up. The power! And yeah, everyone is blessed. Anything else on your turn?
I believe that should do it.
All right. In that case, that is going to bring us to Euchaunkas. What do you want to do, Euchaunkas?
I'm gonna move away from the elemental.
Yeah, you're as far as you can be. You never moved when you entered in the hallway, so it's just the long hallway before you, and then
Okay.
Fluffy battling it, the elemental, and then
Right.
beyond it, the door.
Okay, well the punchy cloud will punch.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. Strikes, roll damage. 8 points of force damage, nice.
I'll sacred flame it.
Alright, it's gonna make a dexterity saving throw. Up.
It fails.
Oh wow, that's a big fail. Alright. Anything else on your turn?
That's it.
Alright, the fire alights, the cloud punches, and then it moves on to the water elemental's turn, which automatically recharges its ability because it's in the water. So it's going to swing down at you and use its freezing strikes on you again. It's a 19. Yep. 10. Crit fail, misses, and then 12. That's 22 points of damage.
And 2 con saves?
And 2 con saves.
4 and
You
a
are
13.
once again frozen in ice, and there's additional damage on top of that too. That's another 13 points of cold damage. That's a
Right,
oh wow.
I stop being a shark.
You are now just fluffy, frozen on the ground, or frozen, kind of floating in the water that you're standing
The
in.
damage carries over to me.
And that is all for foe turn. That's going to bring us to the top of the initiative, which is the fire elemental, which is going to swing down at you, try and attack you again, Lance. Make a wisdom saving throw, which it fails, and then once again go and strike it ideal. It's going to roll to recharge its ability. That does not, so it's just going to make 3 attacks against you with its trident. I'm sorry, not the trident, it's the fire elemental. The scimitar. That's 22, 20, and 21 against you, ideal.
They all hit.
That's another 18. That is 23 points of slashing damage as the flaming scimitar cuts in. Or this time, actually, it's not a flame, it's just a scimitar right now, as it couldn't use the extra damage. But that is all for the foe turn as we move on to you, Fluffy. I'm sorry, man. Once again, you are frozen. Seems you are in the rough half of this battle is the current...
Strength save again?
Yep.
Alright. 12.
That is not enough to break out. Fluffy is frozen in
Oh,
place.
bless! Whoops. Give me a second.
Oh, yeah. Roll the d4.
16.
16 is enough to break out.
Hey.
Break out once more, but again, find yourself stuck in a bit of a loop at the moment. That's going to bring us to... you, Lance. What do you want to do, Lance?
Okay, this is where we get spicy.
Ideal then Lance, right? Ideal then Lance.
Yeah, it's is it? I thought. Yep, you're right. It's ideal. Ideal. What do you want to do?
Attack with my longsword.
Attack away. 10 unfortunately misses.
Bless. Oh wait, no, bless won't get you.
Yeah, but you can. Bless will inevitably get you there on that one. So the second one hits. for 10 points of slashing damage. Plus your Hexblade's curse is on this guy, right? Does that apply to all attacks?
Yep.
So 13 points of slashing damage as you cut into this individual. Yeah, he's starting to look a little bit beat up. You're noticing that some of the damage that these things are being dealt, it looks like both of them are kind of taking it at an equal rate. Anything else on your turn?
No, not right now.
All right. That is then going to... Oh, wait. You haven't been rolling to control the Thunderstep element.
No, and I couldn't last turn, so it could have basically done whatever it wanted.
I mean, what it did on last turn, it did whatever it wanted, and what it wanted to do was not Thunderstep. But this time it decides it is going to Thunderstep, and it just explodes in the space, and all of you are going to make me dexterity saving throws, as the Thunderstep elemental is wild right now.
Isn't it con on Thunderstep?
Oh, sorry, you're right. Constitution saving throws. That is my mistake.
Ooh. Oh wait, I have advantage. Oh boy.
The foe fails. Lance, you succeed very much. And Ninja, you also succeed. So go ahead and roll that Thunderstep damage for me. And
it's already rolled.
Take half of the foe. Oh, okay, 14. And the foe will take the full 14 as it explodes, and it just zaps. It seems like it was trying to go through the wall to the right, to the glass wall, and do you see it just ends its turn like splat up against the side of the glass wall, as it looks like that thing prevents any teleportation magic going through it. And that's all for that. That's all for that turn, I guess. Now it's going to be Lance. What do you want to do?
Would you say that this fire elemental thing is beginning to look right?
I would maybe characterize it as such.
Let's go with that sweet second level inflict wounds.
Alright, go ahead and make an attack. Yep, roll damage.
Bingo. That did not do the higher level cast. It should be an additional D10, is it?
That is odd. Yeah, it should be, I believe, one extra D10. You're doing it at second level, you said?
Yes. Ooh.
Ooh, nice. 29 points of damage as you inflict wounds on it. Yeah, you watch as both the water elemental and the fire elemental are getting kind of ravaged at this point. Anything else on your turn?
That should do it.
Strong turn. That is going to bring us then to Euchaunkas. What do you want to do, Euchaunkas?
Okay.
Fluffy's getting beaten down pretty hard here.
Yeah, I'm gonna use one of the items I've had for forever and have never used.
Ooh.
I'll take out my chili pepper.
Okay.
And eat it. Well, most of it.
Scalvel's scolding something?
Scalvel's scalding chili pepper.
What does it do?
I just cast Agnazar's Scorcher, so I'll aim it at the elemental.
Alright. Go ahead and make me an attack roll. It's gonna make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save, yep.
I'll say you can aim it such that it does not affect...
Well, it's only 5 foot wide, so...
Oh, yeah. Right, you just go for the head. It fails. 10 points of fire damage as you fire from your hot breath now, I assume, after eating the pepper.
Ah!
The fire just courses out of your mouth. And the element, its body kind of curves and kind of steam starts pouring out into the space. The level of the water seems to go down a little bit.
This is a terrible choice!
That is going to...
Get it, Punchy Cloud!
That is going to bring us to the top of the initiative. Punchy Cloud hits. Roll damage on Punchy Cloud. Oh, man, yeah, these elementals are both starting to look pretty rough, as Water Elemental is not downed yet, or I guess neither, as he automatically recharges because he's in water. So that's going to be attacks against you, Fluffy. Same thing. Oh, God. He is your bane right now. That's
5, 6, 17, 22. All right.
And that's an
Plus
additional
2
22
con
cold damage and 3 con saves. Oof.
1, 2, 3, Does the 12 fail? I can roll bless.
The 12 does fail, but go ahead and roll bless on it.
At 14.
The 14 does not quite do it. And you are once again held firmly in place as it moves on to your turn.
Strength save. Probably not enough. Not even with bless.
Not even with bless. I'm sorry, man. That's gonna be, that's 44 points of damage total.
44? Where'd you roll the cold damage? What?
Um,
Oh, there it is. Yeah, sorry.
Yep, no problem.
Another 22. Alright, Fluffy looks barely standing.
Oh god, Fluffy's in rough shape. As it passes on to Ideal's turn, Ideal, you can see that Fluffy's getting absolutely wrecked, as their side seems to be much more difficult than yours right now. It is your turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and attack it with my longsword again.
Alright, go ahead and make an attack roll. 24 hits, the 11 does not. Roll damage on that. 8 points of slashing damage. The sword cuts across and into the creature. Fire continues to leak out. It seems to be on the brink.
Can I roll bless on the 11?
It won't get you there. Yeah, it won't get you there. And anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna attempt to control my elemental just enough to make sure it doesn't do anything.
Okay, go ahead and roll. What level is Thunderstep?
It is a 3rd level spell. Can I apply bless to this?
That is not that is an ability check, not a saving throw. So unfortunately not, as the Thunderstep Elemental once again explodes into space. I need you all to make me con saves there. Which this thing fails. Lance, you succeed. What do you have advantage from, Lance?
Part of the channel divinity.
Of course.
I have advantage from my shield, and then advantage on my concentration.
Yes, indeed. The space kind of explodes as all of a sudden the Thunderstep Elemental once again tries to crash through that glass wall, and as it does, you watch as both elementals on both sides explode in a big burst of respectively flame and watery, icy water. As
this happens, Ideal also goes down.
Oh god, Ideal falls, and Fluffy is also upon death's door, and Lance, your concentrations are maintained, and the threats before you are cleared.
I will do that level 1 cure wounds on my boy here.
May I do a strength save?
Yeah, Fluffy, as the elemental dissipates, the water in the room drains, and as you're out of the water, the freeze just shatters. The minute you touch the ground, the spear just destroys. Actually, before you touch the ground, you explode out of the ice in a sharky glory. There's enough ice on the ground to kind of continue to swim, but it looks like up ahead anyway.
I'm not a shark anymore.
Yes, you got knocked out of the shark form, so you're just Fluffy.
I took over 100 points of damage.
Oh my god, that was a rough one for you. You never reversed the difficulty settings.
On the plus side, at least didn't hit me while I was paralyzed.
This is true. This is actually very dangerous. You probably would be in very bad shape if that had happened. But you continue. The hallways are free and clear before you. The flame jets are no longer going on the ceiling either.
Good job, Fluffy.
You're welcome there, Euchaunkas.
I'm not good at healing.
I'll get to it. I'm gonna heal wounds myself at 2nd level. Of course. Why would it work?
Wait, Fluffy. Lance is really good at healing. Maybe we should wait until we meet back up.
I'm just doing this just in case. It's fine.
That's fair.
All right, you continue down the hallways. You're kind of walking side by each until you get to the end, and you can see there are 4 buttons, one on each side of the doors at the end.
I like. Can does the sound go through the glass?
Yeah.
I just tell we should probably try and press them at the same time, given this seems like a teamwork exercise.
Seems like
I agree based on what he said.
Ow! All right.
So
My ribs.
How do you guys do it? Just like 1, 2, 3.
Wait.
Are we going on 3 or after 3?
Is it 1, 2, 3, go, or 1, 2, go on 3?
I think it should be 1, 2, 3, go. Or should it be
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go?
3, 2, 1, press. Okay.
And
Wait, 3, 2, 1, press, or 3, 2, 1, go? And 3, 2,
Either
1,
way.
go
Press.
means we press.
you do 3, 2, 1, and it takes you maybe 3 or 4 tries as you guys can't quite get it right on the timing on it, but eventually you do hit all of the buttons. A door opens, both doors on both sides open, leading you into a smaller chamber with a pedestal with a button on it.
I pressed the button.
You press the
Don't
button.
press the button.
Did I?
A door appears on the far side of the room, and you hear the box kind of go ding ding,
1 down.
and you look now. You look now at the box. Ideal, you're carrying it at the moment, right?
Yes.
You see that the white side of the box has a glowing, an extra kind of spot on it where it's glowing a slightly brighter light.
All right, we got 2 more to go,
Uh,
people.
Okay.
Okay, before we
press
continue,
anything.
I suggest a ritual cast Lehman's tiny hut, and we just rest. Take a nice long rest.
You know that's fair.
I'm just gonna say now, don't take a don't take a long rest. If you want to take a short rest, that's fine. But
Let's do that thing that never happens. Let's take a
But-
short rest.
short rest,
I-
absolutely.
I'm good to continue on a little bit.
Are you sure? You look... Well, you were a shark, and now you look like you've almost been chum.
It's fine. I can just stretch as I slowly wild shape into a giant constrictor snake. And
You become
Go get the hut ready.
a great big snake. Do you guys proceed backwards? Or proceed forwards into the door?
yeah, either works.
I guess.
Let's do Team Tiny Hut.
You form a nice tiny hut. You move back into the space, and the room beyond appears to be the room you first entered into. It's back in the cube room with the 4 different colored sides, and then you all take a nice little short rest inside of the tiny hut. Go ahead and, I'm sorry, you are doing the tiny hut, or you're not doing the tiny hut?
We are.
We are doing the tiny hut.
All
Why
right,
not?
You take a little rest inside of the tiny hut. Go ahead and roll your stuff that you're going to roll, and then let us move. As we got 2 more to go through. All right, you. I'm just going to describe which way are you guys going to go next. As you're thinking, you're going to go green or yellow?
I vote yellow. 1.
Should we scope it out with the cat again?
It seems the best idea.
All right. You see a big open chamber. That's it. It's just a huge open chamber. On the ceiling, there are big kind of grinders that seem to be just formed on the ceiling.
Should we check green with the cat?
In the green space, you move into a big, tall chamber. The ceiling is very, very, very high above. And then there's just some trees on a little... there's just some stone and then some trees.
Well,
Green seems so much more pleasant than yellow. It has to be a trap, but at the same time, it seems so much more pleasant.
What do you do?
I vote green.
All right. All will be in
Fair
time.
enough.
So you kind of flip around. Right now, you currently have it with the white side on the floor, which means that you need to flip it back around so that the black side is on the floor in order to walk through the door. That is the green side. So you do that, I assume, and then you proceed onward down the kind of... There's a sharp turn to the right, and then you move into this space where I've described before. The walls are green. There are 5 kind of trees arranged on a little pedestal. In the center one's kind of big, and then there's 4 like slightly smaller ones around it. And then you look high up above. You can see just a dot in the distance, what looks like a door, and that's it. It looks like a door. That seems to be the exit to this chamber.
Shall we climb up? I've done it before with people.
All along the walls, on either side of the big kind of, you have to walk through a little bridge, and there seems to be like some space below you as you're walking towards the trees. And the trees seem to be on a stone pedestal that's kind of rigged to tracks.
Ah!
What do you guys do?
I don't understand. Can you try that again?
I'll push a tree.
You push into the tree. It's a tree. It's solid on the ground. What I'm saying is, there's a big wooden pedestal in the base. The room is kind of square, like a very long, open, rectangular prism that moves upwards. And the pedestal that you're on appears to be arranged to tracks, almost like an elevator would. It could go like slide down and up.
Okay. Does it look like this is linked up to anything? Like the tree? Does it look like it's linked up to the tree by chance?
Yeah, it's looked up. The trees are on the pedestal that looks like it slides down and up. Who has the box?
I'll give it to Fluffy.
Fluffy waters the tree.
Fluffy, you go over and water the tree.
Fluffy is now master of the box.
The roots kind of curl in very perfect patterns. These trees seem even a little bit unnatural to you, but they do still absorb the water just the same.
I feel this tree has something to do with this mechanism that's around.
Ideal pours the wine on the tree that he had.
No.
You pour the wine into the ground.
No, I just pour a little bit on the tree.
It doesn't seem to react in any way.
I climb the tree.
All right, you climb onto it. You do so.
I chew on the tree.
You chew on the leaves. They do not taste very good. It's. You're a meat. You don't know how people do this.
Ew. We should burn these.
Ideal's going to investigate the room some more.
I will say, as a hint, because you guys very clearly appear to be stuck, you have a tool that you have not used.
The box?
We just turn the box upside down and climb down the tree. Wait, we shouldn't have turned it. Oh no.
Already done it.
I'm glad I'm in a tree.
You find, as Fluffy flips it around, you all suddenly, except for Euchaunkas, I think is the only one currently holding onto a tree, begin to free fall downwards. As you also see the kind of platform, also which is kind of attached to tracks, begin to free fall. What do you guys do? Roll for initiative.
Oh, do we get an action? No. I'm not sure how fast we've...
12.
16 again, dang.
The ground below you, this thing is moving at a rate of about 100 clicks per round, and you can see there's some like stoppers and stuff on the side of it, which means if you're not moving with this thing's momentum, it might slam into you. It looks like there's things to like slow it as it's falling, as you're all on a vertical incline. Euchaunkas is the only one holding onto a tree, as it's now your turn. It's your turn, Lance. You're the first to act.
Do I seem to be caught with the momentum of this, or do I seem to be falling?
The gravity is affecting everyone, and currently the platform is pummeling towards what was once the ceiling but is now the ground at the same rate as gravity. So right now you're just kind of floating. You're pretty close to the same pace. Everything falls at the same speed. So your feet are just a little bit messed up. It feels like floating.
Does it seem like there are any tree branches or things that might hit me if I stay where I currently am?
Yeah, I mean, you're like, I'll let you decide how close, like, little kind of like grove at the center of it. You could be a little bit farther away from it if you wanted.
I mean, are the trees and such falling with us?
Oh, the trees are connected to the platform and the roots are dug in, so now their leaves are just kind of hanging downwards as everything is falling.
Okay, I will kind of try to air swim my way to the tree to get a grip.
Yeah, it's a little tough, but you're kind of like pushing and doing your best to like direct yourself, creating maybe some air resistance. Go ahead and make me an acrobatics check.
Forget the +2, but yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, you go over and grab onto one of the smaller trees. Euchaunkas, do you want one of the little ones or on the big guy?
I'm on the big one.
All right, that's going to then bring us next in initiative to... yes, Fluffy, go ahead. Oh wait, no, it's not Fluffy, it's Fluffy, sorry. I was looking at hit dice, not initiative.
Fluffy seems confused a little bit. So if I walk to the edge, could I like almost walk around it?
You're in free fall right now. You're just floating as this huge platform is pummeling towards the ceiling.
Alright, I'll just turn into a gas cloud then.
Oh, that works.
I'll just fly around it, just slipping through the sides.
Alright, you're going to... yeah, you're gonna take some, resistance to damage or immunity done damage in this form?
I'm just trying to slip around the side of the elevator so that way I'm on the other side so I don't get hit by it.
Okay. Yeah, it's moving at a rate, like, you only have a flying speed of 10 feet, so you couldn't, like, make it off before the giant stone platform would, like, crash into you as you were moving down, because the whole platform is
damage is better than nothing.
Alright, this heavy stone platform moves past you, and you see it just as you're suddenly like pulled out of momentum, and it crashes into you. That's what is that? A rate of? That's a rate of 100 feet. So that's a lot of damage, but halved. And I'll let you roll an acrobatics check to have it again. So roll me an acrobatics check in your mist form to show, or I'll let you even make it a 14's enough anyway. So you take half of this, double halved this of 10.
Quarter.
Thank you. Double halved is a quarter. I studied math in college. 12 points of bludgeoning damage. The platform whirs over you. The mist separates. It's the farthest apart you've ever been as a human being, except for perhaps in some strange skeleton situations, as you're dispersed by the platform and just kind of thrown around. But then you kind of coalesce and you watch the platform just rocketing towards the ground without you on it. That is going to then bring us to, but yeah, you got that one right easy. That is then going to lose
concentration.
Oh. Oh god, and now Fluffy's now behind the platform, falling once again.
The platform is moving faster than hit.
Oh, hey!
No!
And wild magic happens. Oh, it's fantastic. D150?
Yes. Give me 1 second to get it, because I should have had it prepared, but I did not, because
120.
And...
it's just a great day for Fluffy, isn't it?
Just a great day all around.
I want you to roll me a D. 1, 2. I want you to roll me a D8.
2.
That's actually the best. That's actually the best result for you. All right.
Oh yay!
Something has happened. You feel a strange energy course out downwards towards the platform. Someone has been expected by something.
Okay.
An odd thing has happened, and that thing that was Oh, actually, no. That's going to bring us to Ideal.
I look forward to finding out.
Ideal's gonna try to grab onto the tree he poured wine on earlier.
Alright, make an acrobatics check. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be playing some more dramatic music right now. You go to latch out and grab onto the tree. Oh, you have advantage, I forgot. Wonderful. And you reach out and grab into the branch. You going for like the big one or one of the smaller ones?
Probably one of the smaller ones because I poured wine on it.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. And you are now kind of have your arms wrapped around it as you're heading downwards, and everyone is now connected. That's going to bring us to...
Me.
Yep, Euchaunkas, what's it going to be?
Okay. So we're barreling towards the ground.
You're barreling towards the ground, you're wrapped around the tree. You can see there's things to, like, slow this thing's progress.
Do I
along the
think
way.
this is gonna stop at some point?
It looks like there's mechanisms to, like, make it come to a more gradual stop farther down, but right now you're barrel-assing.
And where is the door?
On flush so that it was, like, you could walk into it when you get to the floor.
So,
Which is about 900 feet away as you're moving
in
it
theory, I
100
just
feet.
need to stick to this tree.
In theory, you need to just stick to that tree and you'll make it down to the bottom.
I'm gonna do that.
Alright. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Alright. And that is everybody. And the tree that you're sticking to, you hear it kind of go, and its branches start to shake and wiggle around, and it is a treant. It takes one of its massive vines, actually a treant that has been poisoned for, roll me a d4, Fluffy.
Yeah, water. Water's important.
For 4 rounds, the tree is poisoned, as
Oh, what?
as your wild magic has affected it, and it's going to swing up and slam, try and slam you within its branches. Actually, you know what? No, it's not going to do that. It's going to use its animate trees, and it points at the 2 trees that you're holding onto, respectively, Ideal and Lance, and you watch as its magic kind of stretches down through the roots and up into those ones, and those 2 trees come to life. As you can use its animate trees once a day. And then those trees are going
I'm
to
so
make...
glad I shared my wine with my tree right now.
Your trees, respectively, are going to make slam attacks against both of you. They both get 1. And that's a 9 against you, Ideal, and a 16 against you, Lance, which both miss. As the branches kind of wiggle around and kind of fly and try to, like, crush you into the ground, it seems like part of their goal is to knock you off of themselves, so that you won't be able to hold on. That is going to bring us then to the top of the initiative. The first to act was you, Lance. What do you do?
It's DnDTime, and I will pull out my bag of holding and press the opening up to the ground so things with wall crawl are able to crawl on walls, as I will unleash my termite.
Oh, shit! You unleash your termites. God. Oh, God! What's the, I guess, are you attacking the big boy or the tree that you're on?
It is a radius of effect, so I think it can get
What is the radius?
I'm trying to find it. I see within the radius, opening up my bio of item.
10 foot. 10 foot.
10 foot. Oh, okay.
So you can get, basically, you can get both. You can get the tree that you're on and the big one, but no others. Oh god, there's not even a save, is there?
There is not.
The tree that you're on, the termites just kind of go up and instantly bite onto it and consume it. It is but a wisp of what it once was, and all of the magical energy that is within it is completely siphoned away. The termites also the termites also go and bite onto the big one, which does less of an impact as it's a bigger thing, but still 42 unresistible magical piercing damage. The most perfect item for the situation, my god. Anything else on your turn, Lance? The tree that you're on is no longer alive.
Is it still connected?
Barely.
I will try to wind walk to the next.
How does wind walk work?
It's not an ability, it's just me trying to pull myself towards the next tree with the ground.
Windwalk sounded like a move. Make me an acrobatics check.
It is a spell that I get eventually.
Ignore the +4 again.
15. Alright, yeah, you begin kind of floating your way over along the side. And yeah, I'll say you make it over to the next tree. That's going to bring us to...
Falling Fluffy.
Falling Fluffy, what do you do?
Just cast it again, keep flying.
All right. Oh yeah, you can do that at will. So you're good. Now you just have a nice float. You're perfectly safe at this point.
Okay, good. No more chaos.
And you begin no more chaos, and you begin working your way downwards. That is going to bring us next initiative to
Ideal.
Ideal. What do you do?
You might as well drop me out of initiative if I'm just floating at 10 feet around.
Well, there might be stuff that you can do or that you want to do. Well, we'll leave it just in case.
Yeah, I'm gonna thunderstep one of the trees that is not animated.
Thunderstep 2, you're hard casting it, you're not using the elemental. Oh, the elemental's already done for the day. So yeah, go ahead and zip on over. And roll that damage. Which it takes 12 lightning damage. The tree cracks and crackles. Some of the leaves kind of shake off, which are quickly caught up as they catch the wind differently. You take 12 points of lightning damage. Or it takes 12 points of lightning damage, and you're on a different tree. You are good. That's going to bring us to Euchaunkas.
Okay. Screw you, tree. I'm gonna cast blindness on it.
Whoa. Go ahead and it makes a Constitution save. It's pretty good at those. It needs to roll it publicly, though. It has disadvantage. 18.
Oh, damn. Still succeeds.
It succeeds, but it's already poisoned still, so as it goes to...
Oh, right.
As
Shoot,
it goes
okay.
to slap you, it will do so.
Well, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sanctuary.
It's gonna make a wisdom save. It's also pretty good at that, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Well, it misses.
14 misses, and then a 19 hits.
Doesn't it need to make a...
I think it makes one for the round.
I think it's just every attack.
I think every targeted attack.
Damn, that's pretty good. 11 misses, fails.
Yes.
All right, yeah. That's it. Oh wait, no, wait. There's still a the tree is helpless. It doesn't have a person on it. Yeah, can't do anything else. You guys have pretty much beat this dude. The platform continues to pummel downwards, and it's approaching the ground with increasing speed. And you see it's about to come up on the first speed bump that will slow it and bring it in for a gradual landing. But yeah, Lance, you're on a tree that's not alive, and your tree is dead. The other trees can't get to you. Lance, what do you do?
Just making sure I can hold on well enough, and I'll kind of look at the big tree and kind of look questioning to Euchaunkas and just give a little point with my fantastic new blade as I almost roll from the wrong page, but instead roll that good old sacred flame on them. Ignore that 2 on the top.
Right. You do so, and they're going to make a dexterity saving throw. It's rooted into the ground and cannot move. It takes 12 points of sacred flame damage. That is the disadvantage of rooting yourself into the ground. You cannot move and dodge things. So it takes 12 points, and anything else?
No, that'll do it, I think.
All right. The tree's been actually fairly rough shape. Fluffy, you're fallen. You want to do anything?
Can I even see the trees?
No, but you kind of have a general idea. Also, they're moving down way faster than you are.
Yeah.
Unless you want, are you catching yourself with falls and then stopping yourself with gaseous form every time you start to go too fast?
I don't know they're in trouble. I don't know about the trees at all. So
Yeah.
I'll just be.
Just floating very leisurely.
Floating down. Yeah. I don't know they're in danger.
Excellent. That's going to bring us then to Ideal. What do you want to do?
Well, let's see. Do I have anything to worry about right now?
No, you're good. Euchaunkas is in not a great spot, but
I am going to. I'm gonna go ahead and blast the trach he's on.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Damage. Do it again. I assume you get 2 Eldritch Blasts, right? 10, and then
Yep.
that one misses.
And a miss.
A little tough in the falling and all the intense wind and stuff blowing around. But 10 points of force damage as you hit the tree. The tree's pretty much done. Euchaunkas, you guys handled this one very handily.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, hang out in the tree.
All right, just hang. Not gonna do anything.
I mean, I'm sanctuaried. I don't really
Yeah,
have...
yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't break the sanctuary. All right, Trian's gonna try.
Can I
and,
hide inside of his branches?
He knows where his branches are, unfortunately, but he's gonna make 2 wisdom saving throws with disadvantage because he got poisoned by that chaos. Yeah. On the next round, I think it's trivial to say that you guys finish off this Treant. You guys have you guys beat me on this one. No 2 ways about it.
Fluffy helped without even being there.
Yeah. Actually, that was really huge. Those disadvantages. Yeah, the thing hits one of the panels on the side. You guys make it down to the bottom, and eventually, a few moments later,
Lance, Ideal, I think Fluffy's dead. He got hit by the platform and literally turned to mist.
Well, Bartholomew, we'll get him back later.
in a brief
He
moment,
has the cube.
He had the
Shit.
Yeah, he had the cube.
and then
We'll find another cube.
a brief moment later, you see the mist of Fluffy coalesce and reform down on the ground with you, and the door is before you.
I look at the trees. Oh my lord, what happened?
Oh, they were evil.
I believe the one I was on is probably still alive unless otherwise.
Fluffy, do you want to go make a friend? That one still seems to be a bit angry. You might be the best one to deal with it.
Oh, of course. Hello there, Mr. Little Tree. Mr. Little Tree, by chance?
It kind of wiggles its branches towards you, and it's kind of like trying to stretch out at you, but in a short time, the magic on it fades as it ceases to be an awakened tree.
All right, you continue. I'll just give it some water.
It seems a lot more peaceful now that it's hard to give it water though because it's hanging upside down from a platform. But you go up and you pour some as vertically as you can. You get some on the leaves. You feed it. It seems a little bit happier now that it's not animated. It didn't like the life of violence that it was forced into.
I think we have to continue for the time being. Very strange. I'm glad you are all alright.
Oh, it's so cute when it's sleeping.
Forward to the door.
Yes.
To the door.
Move forward to the door. You move in. You got to flip once you go in. There's another button, which I assume you. I'm sorry. There's also a quadruple button that you have to do, but you've mastered your technique at this point. And then within there is another button to reopen the box, and you have defeated this challenge. Or I'm sorry, not to reopen the box, but to light up another light. There is one challenge remaining, which
I'm just gonna
is going very long.
Wounds myself at second level again. I'm the
do
only one
so.
that seems to have taken a lot of damage.
Get a rest. Short rest.
I do not have the hit time.
Please don't, because we don't have enough real life time. And
to the yellow side, I don't think we need it. I think we're fine.
and
Well, we are mythic after all. We shouldn't leave any stone unturned.
Excellent.
or you proceed to the yellow side. There's kind of a short tunnel. It moves up into a large.
I think we just did the yellow side.
No, you just did
We
the
did
green
the green
side.
side.
Green.
No,
The
That's
yellow
not
side
sure.
had terrifying grinders on the ceiling.
Yeah, that's correct. The green side was green because it had trees. And you move now down the little tunnel. You have to climb it along a little ways. It moves up into a kind of a big open chasm, and then that's it. There's just a big open chasm.
Does anyone see a door?
And there's like a small square chamber on the far side of that chasm. There is a door, and then there's a small kind of square chamber that you guys are in, leading into it before it opens up into the larger one. And there's grinders on the ceiling, and as you kind of get to that little square threshold before it moves into the bigger chasm with the grinders above it, you see on the far side a form coalesce in the distance. And it appears to be a form of some type of earthen genie, which calls out, "Ho there!"
Adventurers, actually, not hoes.
hello.
Are you prepared for my challenge? Bartholomew has requested of me a mighty wish to stop all who come through.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, yes.
My legions, forward! And they kind of throw their wand, or move their hand towards the ground, and you watch as out of the ground, a line of earth elementals just kind of like covering the space, appears, about 8 of them, and they begin dashing across the chamber towards you. They look very large.
What are we meant to do about this?
Kill them.
They're running.
I stand my ground. I'm not going to make the first move. I'm not a tanky boy.
Who's got the box?
Oh, Fluffy does.
Okay.
Fluffy's doing nothing. I don't know what
You guys just waiting? Is everyone just waiting?
Ideal can throw his wine at them.
You pour some wine. You just wait for them.
No. I just throw the rest of the bottle at the rocks that are charging towards us.
I look at Lance. Stormy night.
Dark and stormy night.
Okay. I cast Spirit Guardians.
I cast Spirit Guardians at 4th level.
I tell everyone to stay still when I
that's a
cast
good idea.
Viper around us.
All right. You create a kill zone basically on the ground in front of them, and as these elementals run into your kill zone that you guys all create, they just break and shatter, and they get raked across the spikes, and they get destroyed by the Spirit Guardians. And you hear on the opposite side of the room, "Ah, curses! My elementals have failed. No matter." They wave their wand and set up another wave, which begins running across.
Keep concentrating.
All right, you keep concentration, and as each new wave comes, they summon more and more. Kind of, the number of elementals increases, but they're starting to get like a pile of rubble that's building up on the ground from the ruins of these elementals, and it seems like they have a near inexhaustible supply of this. They can just kind of do this.
All right, this guy's gonna be annoying.
And you have a pile of rubble building up.
I'm gonna. Before I do this, I'm going to warn the others to get at least 10 feet away from you before I do this.
Of course. I will end concentration on the spike first so we don't hurt ourselves as we move away.
All right.
Shall we have the dark and stormy night eclipse this guy?
Sure, why not? Let's go beat him up.
Easy enough. We encroach upon him.
How far? What is the range on your Dark and Stormy Night?
It's only
15 feet.
You're gonna have to move across like the chasm with all of like the elementals there if you want to like move up and. So, can you guys explain to me what your strategy is right now? I don't understand it.
We've got 2 Spirit Guardians going up around us as we stand next to each other.
Okay.
They overlap.
Okay, so you're just like at the threshold, and right as the elementals come, it's just destroying them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that continues to happen. How are you going to progress, though, is your issue, because you're at kind of a standstill with these elementals just running into it, and then getting killed.
There's a chasm between us and the Earth Genie?
There's just a flat distance up above you. There are the grinders on the ceiling.
What's the chasm made of, Earth?
No, there's no chasm. It's just flat ground, and the Earth elementals are running across it towards your little gap. That you guys are still in kind of the entrance of the space.
Oh,
What if we just find a way to stay stuck to the ground and flip it and send him into the grinders?
wait, there's just flat Earth between us and the Genie?
Yep.
Why not we just walk across the flat Earth?
Because there's big waves of elementals that are coming at you on it, which you can try and do.
DL has teleported behind him.
What's the range on that?
As long with Thunderstep,
yeah,
I can teleport to it as long as I can see it. Apparently,
It's 90. It should only be 90 feet.
From when I copied it, it said.
Yeah, Fluffy one.
I'll give it to you. I'll say you can go as far as it needs to go. So you zap across to the other side, right next to the Genie.
Sounds like it.
Yep.
All right, you zip over next to the Genie, and the Genie looks down at you. It's now I think I need you guys to roll for initiative because it's no longer you guys are engaging with it more directly, so it's less of a puzzle at this point. Go ahead and roll that initiative away. The Dow will also roll initiative. That does not. Oh well, it didn't.
Yeah, I kind of realized I have to roll twice for initiative, otherwise it doesn't. do it correctly.
That's odd. The first to act is then you, Ideal.
Alright, I am going to attack you with my packed weapon, my longsword.
Fire away. Yeah, 13 and 16 unfortunately both miss on this individual. Anything else on your turn?
No.
All right. That's going to bring us to that's going to bring us to Lance. What do you want to do?
It seems that the Tao is the only serious threat, right?
I mean, these earth elementals are getting shredded by your kind of combined spirit guardians, but
Okay.
they are also threats, especially if you're not like working in this kind of slow, like methodical kill line that you've created.
Standing here next to Euchaunkas, keeping the kill line up, I will once again channel Divinity, and I will cast Banishment on the Tao.
It's going to make a Wisdom saving throw.
I think it's Charisma.
Oh, sorry. 14.
He is banished.
Back to your home playing, buddy. Nice knowing you.
He disappears with a popping sound.
Before we get going, let's just chill for 1 minute so we don't have to deal with him again.
All right. Yeah, you guys got him. You beat him. The earth elementals around you are still kind of running in the wave, and the last wave that's not being summoned by the Jinn crashes into your spirit guardians. And yeah, you guys got him. Nice work. That's that banishment power.
That guy was kind of annoying.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
a little
wait.
bit.
Oh wait, no, he doesn't have the thing. For a second, I thought he had the advantage on charisma saves, but he does not. Or on the magic saves. Yep. You guys get to the other side, and there's a door, and
And a
you
button.
you hit the button, and there's now 3 buttons alit upon the. There are now 3 buttons. No, you pushed 2 buttons now, so the third one alights once you press it. And as you do so, the chamber opens up back into the original room that you entered through.
Does the door reappear?
And as you enter into it, all of the doors that you've kind of opened and set up in this space reinform into just kind of solid doors and kind of solid spaces. And the door on the ceiling of the space, the ceiling which is currently from where you are white, you see as it just kind of opens up like a box at the top.
Okay.
And you guys just have the ceiling in front of you. It's just an open black void above.
I tip the box. Up we
All
go.
You flip it over, and you guys all begin to fall downwards into the open black void. And as you fall, you just fall and fall and fall, and for a moment it feels like eternity, and there's a moment of existential dread where it begins to feel like, is this all we will ever know? As the kind of room that you were in disappears into the void. This actually is very much like where you were for a little while, Fluffy. And then as you kind of are now falling in the void for a long enough time, eventually you just kind of crash through some kind of invisible force and are all sitting back in your 4 chairs that Bartholomew had made for you in that little room on the other side of it. And Bartholomew is still sitting there waiting. You see he's kind of like drifting off a little bit, and he has like a little bit of drool running down as he's like half asleep. And you guys also kind of appear back and just oh, you made it.
Yeah, that I mean, frankly, Bartholomew, easy peasy. I didn't even
Yes.
take damage.
This
I
is
think
what
you need
thought.
to. Yeah, you need to make it tougher.
Okay. Very
Well,
good,
it was
very
easy for us, but can you imagine the youngsters in this place trying to go through?
Yes.
good. I think they'll be
Well-
absolutely fine. You have to, learn through the fire, so to speak.
Do you?
Yes, you-
Okay. Here's a question I have, Bartholomew. Would you revive them should they die through them?
We can look into that. They won't technically be adventurers yet, so they don't have the death ward that I
Then
have.
I would suggest, then I do not recommend this for testing adventurers.
Mm.
Not new folks,
So
no.
saying with the death ward, they would be adequate.
If you would prefer, you can always subcontract myself or any of my younger clerics to come in and perform a bit of resurrection. Well, revivifying, it's not quite resurrection.
Perhaps, regardless, I can see that you're on the same page as me and that this challenge would be fine for a 0th level adventurer, one still getting their start. So, in that regard, he kind of gives a big thumbs up, and I believe I owe you some money, and if you could also just sign those contracts saying that you went through and approved it, with the condition, obviously, I didn't ideal, that there's some type of death warding accommodated for, and we can call it a day. He kind of slaps his hands together.
Bartholomew, I will have to sadly hinder and not sign. I do not agree with the test for such young adventurers.
Mm. He looks at everyone else. Is everyone else good, though?
I'll sign twice.
They're perfect. You can sign for Fluffy and
I gave him a
Don.
contract, man.
and he hands each of you your 300 Bartholomew bucks and you gain 2 points of experience, and you've beaten the bucks.
I don't want my name on this. I don't want like a new adventurer to come and go Fluffy approved.
Ideal sides with Fluffy on this.
Before we go running off, can Lance cast that spell?
3 times it is.
Which spell?
I believe I mentioned that to Jeremy, though of course if you don't have that thing I mentioned prepared, I understand.
Pete, he wishes to legend lore about the seed. This is something that we had not spoken about.
No, we had not.
Not
but
you and I had not.
That's fine. You step into the back room and walk over to the seed. As you place your hands on it, for a brief moment, it's a range of self, right? So yeah, you would have to kind of touch and hold on to it as you do so. As you hold on to it, there's kind of a pulsing coming from within it. And before you even casted the legend lore, which takes some time, you find your own heart rate beginning to match the deep pulsing that emanates from within. Small cracks like green veins run around the outside of it, and light seems to thrum. And as you begin to cast legend lore, the seed itself seems to be pulling you in, begging to have the information about it known. It seems to want to be discovered to a degree. As you find your eyes closing, your body matching more and more the rhythm that seems to be living and pulsing within this thing. And for a brief moment, you see a forest. You see a massive and beautiful forest, and at its core, a huge tree, one ancient and a size beyond fathoming, that spreads out and canopies and covers over it. Sunlight still piercing down and through. Days and kind of weeks past as you're observing the tree in this state. Moonlight passing through the leaves, kind of washing over all of the various trees in the forest, canopying them, but not hindering their growth. An impossible, incredible thing. A world tree. And as time passes, you begin to see something dark take root. You watch as the forest around it begins to twist. The trees grow grayer and darker. There are kind of waters, murk. The tree itself begins to wither and rot. Branches fall. Battles are fought in the space. Pieces of it chopped off, destroyed. Eventually, what remains, a massive husk. Only the trunk of the tree. In what is a great endless swamp, a Baradak swamp. And at its core, you see a young bullywug walk up and inside of it. He roots around through the base of it, walking through kind of tunnels and pathways that have been carved into it at this point. And he finds deep within its core a small seed. The seed that you now hold in your hands as you pull out of your legend lore. And that is what you learn.
So it is the seed of that tree.
I'd like to look in the back room. I've never done that.
All right. You look into the back room.
Go in. What's
You go
in
in?
here?
Oh, as you look around the space, you see a number of things. The first thing that catches your gaze as you walk into the room is on the far wall. There's like a shaking and rattling as there's a sword that seems to be chained to the wall, which the chains are constantly like breaking as it seems like it's about to break free and then reforging themselves. There's a shelf with various kind of trinkets and things upon it on the far side of the room. There's something that's kind of covered over in a very fine adamantium weave. There are all manner of things in the space. I can tell you basically the fancy title of each of them, if you would.
Yeah, I'll hear some fancy titles.
The sword, the door, the tome, the seed, the cloak, the hidden, the ring, and the lens.
Okay. Now, if I were to ask you which of these items you maybe knew the most about right off the top of your head.
Any of them, you're good.
Okay, because I would also like to cast Legend Lore, since I have it still, on the Hidden.
The hidden. You walk over to the hidden, and Euchaunkas, there was a moment in your life before you worshipped the cloud, before you were in many ways cast out at your home and took upon a new religion, where life was a lot more simple. And as you look at whatever lies beneath the fine adamantium chain, its shape appears to be singular, but in that moment, you are brought back to that time in your youth. As you stare upon it, you remember a moment in your life where you were truly and genuinely happy. And you begin to focus now on the hidden. And as you do so, you also see visions. You see in a room, a tomb. You look around, and rested upon it is some type of vase or chalice. You see a knight in shining armor walk into the room and grasp the chalice in his hands. And you see that knight kind of exit and leave and walk out of the space carrying the item triumphantly. He walks out and you see he rejoins a party of, it looks like, adventurers. He shows off the chalice. They stare at it for a time. And then he, in the night, the vision kind of shifts. You see another one of those adventurers creep over and slit the man's throat and grabs onto now the chalice and run off into the night. You see a chain, ever-ending. Whoever looks upon it seems to covet it, want it intensely, death after death after death after death, until you see what appears to be a very powerful-looking mage in kind of bright red robes holding on to it. And as he's kind of coveting it, running his hand over it, you see a sudden burst of flame as that individual falls down to the ground, and Bartholomew picks up this cup. That is what you learn about the hidden.
Okay.
Anyone else got a legend lore?
I've still yet to use my 4th spell slot.
All right. In that case, do you even need to shout?
Nope.
All set.
All good.
In that case, outro screen, Jared?